Great. So my name is Rosja Haveman. I'm in the Faculty of Arts at the Department of History of Art, Architecture and Landscape. I will talk about my research project, Nature Crisis and Creativity, and provide a couple of examples of the artists that I'm working on. So throughout history, art has played a major role in both reflecting and shaping how humans relate to their environment. My research foregrounds the engagement of contemporary artists with the coastal landscapes of the Netherlands from the 1970s until today. And the artists that I write about explicitly debate or question the relationship between humans and the environment. So one artist is Han Jansen, actually a Groninger artist who doesn't live anymore. He worked in the 70s, 80s, and he created tidal paintings by throwing many pigments into the Wadden Sea. And he did this because he wanted to raise awareness for nature. However, also environmentalists protested against his art practice because they pointed out that his acts were actually polluting nature. And in the end, the artist's performances were cancelled. And this work shows that there is sometimes a contradiction between the environmental goals and intentions of an artist and maybe what the artwork does and multiple interpretations that an artwork affords. And in my research, I consider how artists and artworks make us pose different questions and sit with paradox sometimes. For instance, this artist created a problem, but by doing so, he made the issue by a form of mild pollution, made it palpable and thinkable. Another artist that I write about is Vibeke Machini. And in this case study, I mapped the knowledge exchange between artists and scientists. So she collaborated with wave researchers and used the data in a different way. So this artwork was based on wave data, or swell data to be precise, and that's a type of wave that travels many kilometers over the ocean that really appealed to the imagination of the artist. So she used the data and translated it into a composition for a self-playing piano, but you could also call it a sculpture because the piano was muted. And it brought the phenomenon of waves into a gallery to experience and to appeal to a sense of wonder in the viewer. So I compare past and present practices and thereby follow also shifting notions of environmental awareness in society. So in the past it might have been pollution, and now climate change or rising sea levels come to mind when one thinks of the ocean or the North Sea or Wadden Sea. So one last example is the artist Tanja Engelbert. She filmed and photographed the offshore industry, so these drilling platforms or rigs, and her work documents these practices that are still in place or being dismantled now at a time when a quest for a more sustainable future is high on the political agenda. And there's a tension in her work between, on the one hand, she really admires and finds these architectural structures very beautiful, maybe even, but on the other hand, she's interested in these places because of the fraught practices and our knowledge, what they contribute to today's issues. So art can both reflect and contribute to the societal discourse, and my research into these artists from a humanities perspective enhances reflexivity and proliferates perspectives. So my research really helps to better understand how art affects, negotiates, or challenges knowledge in the face of multiple interrelated crises. So now my last slide, you might think as an art historian, you have a lot of images available, so why would you need some extra funding for visualizations? So here's my pitch why you should vote on me. So I work with a lot of artists that work with materials from different places. So it would be really nice for me to maybe use some extra funding to visualize that. And also in my art theory, I work with a lot of abstract concept and relations between artists, the artwork, the landscape, the viewer. So that would also be really nice to visualize and use some extra funding. So vote for me. Shameless self-promotion here.